we're so quick to throw everybody under the bus and forget about their accomplishments and just throw them the fuck away, that's what's gonna end up killing our culture. You know, how are we gonna have anybody else in the history books if, at this rate, Malcolm and Martin will be the last two. There won't be no other black man in the history books that people can laud or people can applaud or people can love because they've made us our greatest weapon towards each other.
Real life.
It ain't real life. Just ain't real. Real life street stars. Know what time it is. Real life street stars, man. We got a real legend in the building, man. Boston's very own, man. Real legend.
It's an honor to be here, man, for real. You know, I've been checking out y'all's platform and y'all doing y'all thing, and the hospitality is just amazing. So, you know, I just want to come down here and hang out with y'all.
Bro, you have a knack for just going viral, just for the things that come out of your mouth. But did you know that you were going to be able to be one of those people that are sought after to just interview, to hear what you have to say?
You know, the whole act of going viral, I guess even before the internet, I was, you know, the act of going viral was just, to me, you know, say what's on your mind, stand on whatever you believe in. And I'm a firm believer in that. You know, I come from the old school, so it's like, I'm very vocal about certain things. I've experienced a lot in my life. So things that I stand on might not click to everybody at the time, but they've clicked in my mind to be something that I have to speak out. And I guess I'm a Cancer, so, you know, we're real emotional. We wear our emotions on our sleeve.
Yeah. Now, our platform is named Real Life Street Stars, right? And
yes, sir.
Our whole thing is we like getting the underground, the people that have a story that didn't get to tell their story.
Okay.
For Benzino, what does street star mean to you? Like, what is a street star in your opinion?
See, that's what Benzino is. That's what, you know, I came from a my father, and I always started out with him because that's where it starts off. He was in the streets heavy, and I started doing street activities at an early age because of him. And I don't say that in a negative way, but that was the environment and that was the life that I lived. You know, I came out that house probably about 12, 13 years old and just, you know, hit the streets, started, you know, of course, I'm going to school. My mother loved her to death, so I didn't want to disappoint her. So I'm balancing going to school because I have to go to school because that's what my mother says, and my father. My father's in and out of jail, but I'm doing things for him at an early age. Grew up in projects where, you know, that's in the 70s, see, it's different. You know, I grew up really in the 70s. I came out the house in the 70s. You know, I'm 59 now, so I'll be...
70s in Boston?
Yeah.
Ooh, what was that like? Ooh.
Boston in the 70s was a different place because, like, it was segregated, of course, like most places, like most cities were, but Boston, you know, Boston is an old city, old values. You know, that's where Plymouth Rock is. Remember when Malcolm X said, you know, we didn't land on Plymouth Rock landed on us.
Yeah.
That motherfucking rock is still there. Nasty ass rock is still there, right? So as kids, they would take us field trips to go see that motherfucking rock. Now the rock got graffiti on it, there's all kind of shit on it, and the rock got smaller. But it just goes to show you that Boston is where it all started from. Like racism really started right there, like colonialism started there. Quincy, Braintree, Boston were the first towns of America before the 13 colonies. Like that's where everything started right there. So you gotta understand, that is their territory. You know, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, Irish people, Italians, Jewish. Black people really always took a back seat. So growing up, it was segregated, a lot of projects, a lot of street shit, but then you have to deal with all that, a lot of drugs, but then you gotta deal with white people crossing boundaries. If you're in some parts of somewhere, you risk getting fucked up, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was fucked up. And you know, the boundaries, Dorchester's right there next to Roxbury, and Columbia Point Projects is right next to South Boston, and you know, East Boston's downtown, which downtown couldn't be neutral. Like, black people had to stay at the South End, Roxbury. Little 15, maybe 10-mile radius back then, it expanded, but it was fucked up because I grew up in schools beefing with white people and getting chased by white people. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, what was like one of the most racist things you ever experienced?
Oh man, a bunch of them. Like, let me tell you. So most of the time, what people gotta understand is when you're watching something on civil rights, it's usually in black and white, right? When you watch an old video about a whole bunch of people, white going against black, it's usually in black and white, right? If you look in Boston, it's in color. Like, the busing started, it was the busing where they was trying to get kids out of the inner cities to get them to go to, a couple of black kids, just a couple, not a bunch, just we want them to experience some good schools, because we know the schools in Boston, in the city, are fucked up. So they would ship a couple of kids out there, and not just the school and not just a couple of people, the whole city, town would come out, thousands of people, and throw stones at the bus and try to turn the bus over. And we talking little kids sticking up their middle fingers, 6, 7, 8 years old, grown ass old ladies, get them the fuck out of here, we don't want them in our, we're talking 3 or 4 kids coming off a school bus to go into a school in their neighborhood, and to the point where they had to get police escorts. So this was going on in the 70s, right? You know, so you grow up with this sense of like, damn, like, this is crazy. You grow up with a sense of like, man, white people are against you. And I grew up with that because wasn't no white people in any projects we lived in. We probably started out in 2 or 3 of them before we moved into a second floor of a house, which was a nice house, but it was still in the hood. So, you know, I grew up. If it wasn't later on in life for my father introducing me to his guys, you know, like Italian guys, older men, Irish guys, men that he had did time in the feds with or he's doing business with. And these guys were like serious men, you know, these were serious men. If it wasn't for me to meet them, I would have thought all white people were bad. You know, at working with him and working with them over the years, and then, you know, dealing with them and their families, you start learning, even though it's coming from a criminal aspect because we was doing criminal activities, but you still, at least it didn't make me like, all white people are bad, because I grew up thinking that, because every time you turn around, you know what I'm saying, you fighting somebody who's white. I got, my first year of high school, I went to Boston Tech. My first semester, I kicked out, because there was a racial beef, a bunch of white kids. I had got stabbed. We had 2 like riots with them and shit. One of them I got stabbed. They kicked me and like 7 other guys out. And they kicked a bunch of white guys out. We went to Boston Tech. You had to take a test to get in there. And I ended up getting kicked out. My mother was pissed. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? I got stabbed over, you know what I'm saying? Like on the bus. Like the first time we was beefing with them, the second day they came with knives and shit. And mind you, you know, you got to understand, like, it's segregated. Black, like, okay, Boston's not that big, but, you know, everybody, South Boston's Irish, East Boston and North End is Italian, Roxbury, South End, black, and you did not cross the borders. If everybody would see each other downtown where the stores was, and that's where the fights would take place, so the chases would take place. If we seen a white dude out of bounds in our spot, we'd stomp him out. If there was a black dude in there, he gets stomped the fuck out. And I grew up with that probably my entire life in Boston.
That's crazy. So we're gonna be bouncing around a lot of this interview.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, so we're gonna take it to, got to go to Diddy first. Right. Have you ever been to a Diddy party?
I went to one Diddy party, but it was in Manhattan. It wasn't at his crib. It was in Manhattan. He had rented a hall or whatever, and I was there. It's crazy because there was a couple of well-known women, and they was arguing. It was almost like some real life Love and Hip Hop shit I was going through, but I can't even mention. I ain't gonna mention their names. I'm gonna save it for my book. But they were arguing situation with me. They was arguing with each other. I think they was about to beef, but I just remember Diddy coming by. He never really, me and Diddy's relationship, first of all, right, since we're on them, I just want to we just got to go through a timeline of who Diddy is, and what he's accomplished. And then I can give my opinions and everything else. But before I give my opinions on that, which a lot of people like to talk about, I want to set up the timeline of what Diddy did before we knew about all this, right? So Diddy started Howard, intern, and then he went over to Uptown Records. He helped with Mary J. Blige and Heavy D, then he big time promoter in New York, went on to do Bad Boy, broke many, 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 many artists, sold sold a lot of music, fashion-wise, really was one of the moguls in fashion as far as getting his stuff in department stores. Reality TV, he killed that. There's not gonna be too many men that's done what Diddy's done in our culture, all right? All the years that he did it in. In that time, he's employed a lot of people, right?
Right.
Ciroc came and just blew out the water, employed more people. One thing I do know as a person, when I had a situation like that and when I had money like that and I had power like that, is that it's not easy for a black man from the streets, right? And not that I'm saying Diddy's from the streets or maybe the same, but he's from that. His father, he's still from that. My father, we're from that.
Right.
It's not too many black men that's gonna be able to accomplish that in this country.
Yeah, that's
all right.
facts.
And especially moving forward the way things are. So things went wrong, and we'll get to that, but I just want to just kind of stay there a second of the accomplishments. And not just the accomplishments, but all the people that he's employed. Because, in this business, yes, contracts, it's a dirty business. Lawyers, contracts, things get fucked up, publishing. That's all of us across the board, right? No one's hardly ever happy with the label ever. They're happy as fuck when the label give them money towards the end when shit ain't cracking. It's the telltale story, right? From every artist, right? But, you gotta look at all the hundreds of people he's employed and put on. If it's so easy, and I know there's a lot of artists that personally I've dealt with in business-wise, and it's not for me to say how they feel because it's not fair because they've actually business-wise dealt. If they said that Diddy jerked them in publishing, then that's up to them to say. But what I can say is that, that as an artist, right, you know in your head, you're only as good as you are rapping. Business-wise, most artists don't know what to do, right? And, when you're dealing with people, most of the time you're coming with nothing but your rhymes, right? That's it. Mm-hmm. So when people invest money, time, effort, emotions, stress, everything into you, you know what I'm saying? That part has to be accounted for something. And I'm just saying that a lot of people who you just have to look at, like a lot of bad stories come out about a lot of artists. Like you hear them about Diddy, Suge, Irv, Birdman. You hear anybody who's a mogul, anybody who had multiple artists, you're always gonna hear, there's always in common, there's gonna be somebody problems with it, right? Mm-hmm. It's just the nature of the business. So all them artists though wouldn't have got on or as big as they did without a certain person. You can best believe every artist that's been through Diddy has had another manager or another way that they tried to do it and didn't even come close to the stardom and everything as they did when they got with Diddy or with Suge or with Birdman or with Irv or with any of the big moguls, right? Of course, at the ending story, it's not gonna work out for them because they're the artist and they didn't have the business acumen in the first place to understand it. I'm not saying that, and I'm gonna go to the current stuff, but I just want to make it clear, if I'm gonna get the platform right now, is that, man, we're so quick to throw everybody under the bus and forget about their accomplishments and just throw them the fuck away, that's what's gonna end up killing our culture. You know, how are we gonna have anybody else in the history books if, at this rate, Malcolm and Martin will be the last two. There won't be no other black man in the history books that people can laud or people can applaud or people can love because they've made us our greatest weapon towards each other. So now, speed it up to now. I'm thinking Diddy got a problem, man. Diddy has some type of, what happened or didn't happen, I'm not there to say, so it's hard, I don't speak on that. But I would just think based on everything, he has some type of sexual
Right. How was he when you met him? Did he...
Real quiet. When he came to me, I think he gave me a blunt of weed, a spliff of weed, and he didn't even say nothing and kept it moving. He just, I don't know.
Could you see this happening at all? That when you see
yeah, of course, yeah. I couldn't see all this happening because the music industry is usually a safe place for this type of shit. Look, all this sexual shit's, the internet is exposing shit. It's the reason of the internet. If the internet wasn't never around, the internet's the gift and the curve. If social media wasn't around, then this has been going on since the industry has happened. Not just the music industry, Hollywood. Right. You know what I'm saying? People want to be on TV and in the music business so bad that they'll do anything. They'll give their bodies, they'll do anything. That's where selling your soul is. So, you know, unfortunately, people take advantage of that. Women get taken advantage of. Men get taken advantage of. That's the nature of the business.
Why do you think we put so much of our judgment on the individual who offered the opportunity, no matter what you were willing to give? I gave you that in exchange for what you were willing to give. I still gave you that opportunity. Why do we put so much judgment on the person who offered the opportunity, you think?
Because black people, man, we're mad. Even if we try to act like we're not, like, you know, we're in a fucked up situation, man. We've been, and it's taking tolls on people's minds. And then here comes social media that is conditioning the fuck out of people when they're seeing everybody else doing good and they're not. It just fucks them up in the head, man. It breeds a lot of different negative feelings. And I just think like, it's just, you know, I watched R. Kelly, do you know how, like the music and everything, and then, yeah, okay, yes, I understand. Because people are quick to get, oh my God, he's sticking up. No. Anybody that fucks with underage kids needs to be dealt with. Okay? The punishment, we live in a land of laws. They deal with that. So I don't stick up or I don't co-sign, none of that. But, you know, how do you, 20, 30 years, rock with somebody so hard, whereas that they come in your life every day? Music is so important to us. And for black people, it seems like music and TV and everything is really important to us. So if it's really that important to us, where you're focused in on it so much, why are you quick to just throw away the people that gave it to you all them years? And I understand because of what people did. God gives everybody other chances, and if people, I'm not in the church, but I got common sense to know that part. That God gives people other chances and no one should be able to judge. I know at least that part. So if that's the case, then we got to stop doing it to each other.
We do, but okay, let me ask you this, right? Because you had a platform. the biggest platform, right? We have a platform. People always try to, send us shit. So did nobody ever send you certain things on Diddy and make you be like, damn, some of the shit that he's doing wrong? Because people like us, right? The general people are looking like how he beat Cassie on that videotape. They're like, damn, people got to be complicit in this. This didn't just come out of nowhere. He beat her in a hotel.
Again, well, when you're an older nigga like me, you've seen that shit your whole life. And it's not saying it's right. In the 70s, that was a regular day. You know what I'm saying? So like in the 80s, that was seeing that shit all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, as a young kid, I never liked men beating on women. That always made me feel uncomfortable and nervous when I'd seen that. My father never did it to my mother. God bless. My mother's first husband did it to her, you know. But from what I have seen, that was a regular thing. So, you know, I can't listen. Again, people have to condition their mind that our minds ain't the same with the internet now as it was before it was. Our minds, we have to condition ourselves to what's coming now, because one situation you seeing, then you should condemn that man for the rest of his life. Now, if it wasn't the internet, then nobody would see nothing. And nobody would be getting condemned. You know what I'm saying? And the privacy would be within themselves to work it out within themselves. Right now, we're in front of millions of people every day being judged by millions. That's not how humanity was supposed to be. God didn't make this earth for everybody to be in tune with each other, millions. It's impossible. Be in tune with who's in front of your face. Let's get back to that. Because this shit here, if it don't take a blind man to see that people are losing it, are cooked from social media. The shit that's happening, see, I'm a nigga that was here before it. The shit that's happening, this is almost like real talk, I'm not just trying to hype this up. It's almost like I'm living in a different type of time or a different planet or it ain't the same.
Do you think that we should separate the man from the artist? Because like you said, someone may do something that we find distasteful or displeasing. Should we throw away their catalog, all their music, all their accomplishments? Because it became a big thing when R. Kelly, we're gonna stop listening to R. Kelly's music because now he's in prison for these things. Do you think we should separate those things?
First of all, I think the beauty of music was always, the greatness of music was that the artist could express himself through the music and it got to the audience musically. And then they pulled out of it what they want. Social media has fucked up music in so many ways, right? Images like what you see on YouTube with young niggas with guns, and like you see the images now and women showing everything. Like our images, the images in our environment are conditioning our mind to just lust after these things, and it's a powerful energy that's is all you want. These young kids, this is all they want to do. Their minds haven't even in their 20s, their minds haven't even developed to understand anything else. And if the only images they're getting is guns, sex, drugs, and low bass, then man, by the time they reach 30s, it's not gonna look good. It's not gonna look good. You know what I'm saying? Like we're in emergency mode that we don't even know it. Like the Black culture, we need help right now.
You know, I see a lot of people who are, more so disappointed in the actions of like people like Puff or R. Kelly, or because they wanted to be like them. Why do you think we just want, like we see these individuals and we want to be them so bad and we want to attain what they have? Like,
who doesn't want that? As Black people that was just 400 years ago and slaves been picking cotton for nothing, getting beat and raped and for nothing, who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want to see a Black man at his top employing other Black men and women and having a good time doing it? When you're looking at Puff looked like he's never worked in his life.
For sure.
When you look at Puff, it's just always party, happy, music, let's go, dance, woo. You know what I'm saying? The unfortunate side is hip hop is the streets. Hip hop is the streets. So there's gonna be that street element with it. And you know what I'm saying? Like we're all from the streets at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you're gonna run into street activities because the guys around you are in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you're gonna run into these things over the years, and money, power, that shit, starts to get to people mentally. It never got to me to the way that it got to, of course, to the situation that he's in. And it's unfortunate, the situation he's in. And I say a prayer for all the victims who, we're gonna see how this plays out. But it's gonna be a bloodbath. Like, it's getting ready to and then after this, right? It'll be another year because this is all people gonna see. We ain't when the trial come up. You gotta understand. Puffy made his lawyer tell Harvey and said the lawyer came on and did one interview with Harvey to really say, Puffy's taking a stand. That's all Puff wanted. Puff in there let everybody know I'm taking a stand, and everybody coming at me, watch the shit I'ma say, and the Feds got tapes since 2009. Diddy got tapes since 93?
Right.
You think you get to do all the stuff and all the business deals that Diddy did by being stupid? Now, granted, he may have some type of sexual problem. That's, to me, at this point, it's obvious. Yeah. That's not no disrespect. That's not trying to be funny. People have sexual problems. Believe it or not, that's a big part of a lot of people's problems. They don't even know it. Like the addictions of sex. And then one's money and drugs and unlimited. And then it's like, you almost had carte blanche, because this is what the music industry is. The music industry to people is music and gossip, and they watch people's lives now. But to the filthy rich, see, the filthy rich, they don't necessarily can't go to the hood and find a plug and find the drugs they want. The filthy rich can't find the chicks they want because, because they just can't risk being out there. They need somebody. Diddy's been the party guy forever.
Yeah, no, facts.
Forever. Now, the music industry, not just Diddy, but the rich and famous, they love coming over to, this is their playground, is the music industry. Because the women singing are the highest trophies. The men rapping are the highest trophies. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's other good looking women out there, but they're not her who the world is going crazy over. Rich people don't really like women, like this beautiful woman, but to them, they want somebody that the world yearns for. So They want stars. So the music industry now has been exposed because those rich, you don't think, forget about the artist who's on tapes. What about the politicians and the politicians' nieces and nephews and sons and brothers? Because everybody wants to go to a party. Usually when you're the rich and powerful and you're around your family, you want to impress them. I call Diddy right now. You want to go to his party? Boom. And then they done went over there. Now they just want a party. And they over there with the lampshades, probably fucking everything moving.
Right.
Dude, every drug over there going crazy. My father's the fucking senator of the United States. You know what I'm saying? You think that he ain't got that in his pocket?
Yeah. Oh, straight up.
This just isn't gonna be about, you're gonna see some rappers and shit, but at this point, man, it's almost like, is anybody really gonna be super surprised and crazy? I think people's conditioned enough to if somebody's on a tape having gay sex with somebody that I don't think everybody's gonna be fainting at this point. I think at this point, we done seen so much that what's gonna surprise us anymore?
Right. So, in your past, you've been at the very top of all this.
Yeah.
Is there any demonic force, Illuminati? Is that a real thing?
Listen, people with billions of dollars get together. That's a real thing. Damn right. Whatever the fuck they call it, there's a lot of things. But the Illuminati, the word's been around as long as I can know it, so it must have some type of something with it. People with money, people with thoughts, people with desires and lusts, of course. Yeah, to me, that's out there. I remember me and Dave one time, and Dave, if y'all ever get Dave Mays, he could tell the story. Dave Mays, that was my partner for the Source magazine. And you're right, we was on top of the food chain in New York for a minute. For a brief minute, but at least we made it there, right? So there was these people that came and wanted to meet And I would take some meetings and I would look at motherfuckers and just wouldn't take those meetings and be like, Dave, you tell me first and I'll do the second meeting with them. This time I didn't take this meeting with these people. Something didn't feel right. I just remember come up to the office because I didn't have an office in the Source. I'd be all around the country, around the world, come to the office, chill on Dave's couch, smoke, we have a meeting, and I'd be out. One time I walked in there was, some strange characters in there. You know what I'm saying? Some different type of guys. Was there a woman? It might have been. And I just remember Dave was like, yeah, they wanted And I just was like, yeah, okay. So Dave went out to dinner with him. And I remember Dave, I don't, because there was just a lot of stories, it was a lot of shit. But Dave was some shit that had to do with something of that nature, right? And you'd have to ask him about that one because he was at the meeting. You know what I'm saying? I just remember I told him we didn't want to deal with them no more. Because he came back to me and I just remember shutting it down like, nah, fuck that. Back then I was a lot more wild. So man, fuck them. And I was, I know me back then. You know what I'm saying? So, but I remember that. I remember. Once you reach a certain tax bracket, they come in.
So
they're not gonna come if you got a couple of mil. That ain't it, man.
some people say that once you get to that window, you have to make a certain choice. And depending on the choice you make, it will either propel you to another level or your life will start to change and the success will not be as prevalent as it was.
Yeah, I believe that, and that's why I chose God, and that's why I'm in the situation I'm in now. I'm still out here grinding, and I'm proud of it. You know
I mean, you look good, nigga. You should grind.
No.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little grind.
Listen, I appreciate it, but I got to stay in shape because the hustle don't stop. And my thing is, when me and Dave fell, we lost everything, right? Got indicted by the feds. We lost everything. We had millions and millions, man. We lost the Source, everything. It was almost like we was banished from New York. That was a big thing. All the executives and everything, because a lot of those guys didn't fuck with me. They had to deal with me, but they didn't fuck with me. They was nervous, scared. You know what I'm saying? Like the Leo Cohens of the world and Steve Stouts of the world and, the Russell Simmons and these guys, what I'm saying? I would deal with these guys, but these guys like to deal with Dave. They didn't like to deal with me. And it was because I didn't have it for the bullshit. And I wasn't with, I've always been for the struggle and for the people, no matter what. And that's because I grew up in Boston. So I was always I looked at me being a revolutionist from Boston, because I stuck up for black people. The light-skinnedest nigga ever. I never even knew my color back then, because I always considered myself black. You know what I'm saying? So, but, it's just ill to watch everything, you know what I'm saying? I had my morals. I was taught well by my father, my mother, and my upbringings, to where it was that money wasn't everything. Because I always was a hustler, I could always get it. When we lost the Source, it was all right. That was like me losing a couple of bricks. I'm gonna get out there and get it again. I gotta get out there and get it hard to get homie the money back. And that's how I felt. We re-up with Hip Hop Weekly. After Hip Hop Weekly, right to reality TV. After reality TV, I'm not gonna stop. I'm a hustler.
How does it feel like when you have these relationships and then you lose a bit of your power or a bit of your status, and then the people that you once had access to, you don't have access to them anymore?
Power to an egotistical motherfucker might have been something that they miss. But me, it's just, again, I always looked at life like I'm from 4. Anything past me, making it past 25 was just a fucking God-given bonus, and I appreciate, now I do. When you get older, you start seeing life through a whole different lens. I appreciate shit now. Do you understand the shit that I've been through? That I should have been dead many, many, many times, and it's like, or locked the fuck up forever. So it's like, damn, all my niggas that are dead, close people. I got 4 on my arm and probably know another 100. You know what I'm saying? You start valuing shit different making it to 59 years old. Who the fuck would have knew? But, I always was for the people. I never looked at myself as I still find it hard to believe a celebrity. When people see me in the airport and shit, and they be like, Benzino, it's my people. It's people from the hood and the struggle, and they smile, and what's doper than that? That's what keep me going, even not having the money I had before, not even close. But money don't, and I'm telling you, I'm saying this is the truth. Money is meant to be made and spent. I used to get fucking whatever I had, heroin, coke, weed. I'm gonna take that shit to the block. The first profit, I'm gonna go fuck it off, go buy me some shit, and you know what I'm saying? Then bring the plug his, and I might come back a little short, but I'm gonna get another just to go back at it. That's how I was at a young age, so it kind of, and I'm not saying that was good because I mismanaged money like crazy. I fucked off money, but I also was Robin Hood. I gave away a lot. I bought people a lot, like, you know what I'm saying? Not just little, like, ridiculous shit. So, you know, and I would do it again, man, but this time I'm older and I know how to manage money better. Like, whatever I had, I spent it on people and I kept it moving, even when I had millions. If I had 5,000, I'm gonna go break that 5,000. Tomorrow I'm gonna go get another one. If I have 5 million, I'm gonna go break this 5 million and we're gonna get some more. It's just what it was.
So, of course, we all know this source was huge. Who didn't want to be on the cover? Who didn't want to be in business? What's one of the craziest things you were ever offered in exchange for business, or in exchange for being on the cover, or exchange for that connection with you and the company?
Well, well, before I say this, I'm in a relationship now and I love my girl deeply. Ashley, I love you. We're gonna get married. But back then, right, pre-Ashley, you know, being the position I was, you know, of course, female artists, rappers, of course they're looking at me like, what's up with Zeno? You know, what's up with, and then me, you know, one thing about me, and I got from my father, like if I'm dating you, if I'm fucking with you, I'm just gonna pour everything into you. So, you know what I'm saying? You might get a cover, might get a diamond. I flew Jacob one time, well-known rapper. Y'all know her well. Everybody in this room know her well. I flew him in there on her birthday and put a diamond chain around her neck in her city. Like, I used to do it big, and you know, I threw some covers, hosted the Source Awards, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, not because they didn't deserve it, because obviously they had to be big enough to do it, because it would look crazy if I'm just doing it with somebody who doesn't, like, people can't, but they were big enough. It just all worked out. It just all worked out where we would date, and you know what I'm saying? You know, that's why, like, when Love and Hip Hop came, I was like, yo, I was private with my shit because nobody knew, like I've dated a bunch of celebrities that y'all'd be like, damn, but I don't kiss and tell, you know what I'm saying? Let's till my book come out.
Are the celebrities overrated?
Are the celebrities what?
The celebrity women, are they overrated?
Are they overrated?
Yeah.
No, hell no. These are the these are the ones. These are the ones.
Right.
These are the ones that y'all grew up loving. Yeah. You know, yeah, hell yeah, definitely.
But I do gotta ask, because I did watch the reality TV show and I watched it all play out. And then later on down the line, you see, you know, the whole child support situation, right?
Ooh,
I was just gonna ask you, does something need to be done about child support in general, and how much money people is paying? I think Kanye $200,000 a month.
Bro, child support. Like, I hope. Like, I don't know. Did Trump say anything about changing?
I was hoping.
Has he said anything about changing child support?
We haven't heard that yet.
Nah.
Yeah, not yet.
If Trump said that he was gonna abolish child support,
he would have had the whole
he
thing.
would have had my vote.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck.
Right.
I don't give a fuck what anybody say. Fuck it.
Right.
I'd have been MAGA hat, MAGA sweatsuit, the gold ass motherfucking man, I would have been what? But child support's fucked up, bro. Like, child support, but again, not just child support, there is a system set in place to fuck us up, and child support is one
One
of
of
them.
them, for sure.
I got 3 child's mother whom I thank dearly for bringing me my beautiful children. You have to put all these things on this because you don't want to disrespect anybody, because they still are the mothers of my child, and without them I couldn't have my children. But
Right.
but they fuck your life up when they take you to court. Because it's not just about giving money. You're giving it through the system. You have to go through the system. So when you don't do something right, they locking your ass up.
Right. And they taking money off top as well.
It's not fair. See,
You get a new job, they hit that, boy, they go crazy.
it's not, but then they overcharge you, and you
Exactly.
can't get a
You
modification
can't get it
until about a year or two.
Right.
Like I could tell you more, but I don't want to go through it, man, because you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm still going through, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, like, you know, my dad was on child support for my older stepbrothers and sisters. I remember for Mikey, Eddie, and Ricky, he owed a lot, but they ended up dropping it. But it was like, they're damn near 50 something and the child support thing was still coming in. Like, no, that shit is fucked up. It's not right. It needs to be overhauled. Something needs to be done.
And that's what the question I had was, what if you could, what would you do to it?
I would just do like this, right? Okay. There has to be an average of every child based on age. 1 to 5, 5 to 10, because you know they eat more as they grow and shit. If it's gonna be to 18, right? First of all, I would bring it down to 15. You know, would it be 18? He's a damn near grown ass goddamn man. He got a kid by himself. He has a kid. What the fuck? How the fuck am I paying? And you know what I'm saying? So I would lower it to about 14-ish. Let's say 14, right? And then I would say, look, 13. Give me 13. I would lower it to 13, and then it would be in spurts on what's needed. It would go, now yes, it would go to the mother, but the mother would be responsible to show what she's done with it. Just like I have to show in, she has to clock in to them what she's done with it. She needs to show receipts for everything that particular money. If it was $1,500, you need to show what it was. You know what I'm saying? If it's $100,000, you need to show what the fuck you doing with this $100,000 that applies to the child. Because if it's child support, doesn't say child and X support. Because if it's child and X support, say so. If it's child support, then whatever the mother spends needs to be a receipt to the court. And they need to be going through it just like they be going through our shit.
Right.
Y'all like that?
Yeah.
I like it. And let us file taxes on it, goddammit.
And let's file taxes on it.
Man, you got a lot of thoughts that'll be Superman, man.
Y'all like that?
The thoughts, but the thoughts going.
I love it.
The bopper's gonna be.
First of all, when a young rapper comes to tell me, yo, can you give me some advice, OG, yo, Unc, you give me, yo, OG? Yeah, I can't give you some advice with your rap crew. You listening? Don't get nobody pregnant.
That's it. You win.
They be like, huh? Don't get nobody pregnant.
Right.
Wait till your late 20s, 30s. You're not missing nothing right now. Just chill out.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Get through your 20s. See if you're stable by then, if you have your own spot, right? Before you bring a child in here. Because our problems start when the child comes. I wasn't ready. Nobody's ready. We're not. We love, but we're not ready. We're not financially ready. We're not spiritually ready. We're not emotionally ready. All right. We're not mentally ready at all. But we all do it. It's part of life. But when you think about it, as far as what it does and the struggle you got to go through when you don't have shit, and you got to be out there in the streets to hustle to get it. Now you can't spend time with your kid. Then later on, it comes back and it bites you in your ass.
Right. Facts.
You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Great advice. Back to Diddy. One more thing. Stevie J.
Stevie J, my brother.
How did you? Well, he was very vocal about taking up for Diddy.
Yeah, I mean, you know, shit. Diddy made Stevie who he is.
Right.
Like, listen, again, people gotta understand, right? I'm gonna look on the camera. How many of y'all's family did some horrible shit or did some bad shit or even just made little mistakes and you've still stuck by a family member? Your father, your brother, your mother, your sister, your cousin, right? Okay. Just because Diddy and Stevie ain't blood, that doesn't mean that the feelings aren't there to stand by him no matter whatever he's going through. There is nothing the matter with that. See, now everybody's worried about being canceled. Everybody's worried about being who's. Yo, stand by your motherfucking friend no matter what they do. If it's murder, I don't give a fuck what it is. Stand by him because that friend's gonna need you. no matter what, regardless of what happens. It's unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? But that's still supposed to be your friend. That's just me.
That's real shit.
Right.
Too many people that's backing off, you know what I'm saying?
I don't, you know, I haven't talked to Stevie in a minute. You know what I'm saying? I wish him well. I hope everything's all right with him, you know what I'm saying? I just know that him and Diddy had a relationship for years and years. He's got a lot of money with Diddy, you know what I'm saying? They had a lot of business together. I'm sure Diddy has been an amazing influence on his life musically. And they've got some, Stevie's responsible for over 90 million goddamn albums sold with his production. That's because of Diddy.
Any wild stories with Stevie J or anything like
Stevie J's a wild boy.
Yeah.
You might as well say what story you don't have. Is
Right.
Like, so I'm saying, so I'm gonna tell this wild. He probably gonna be mad as fuck, but I love him to death. And whatever, I'm gonna tell him right now on this camera, I love you, my nigga. Call me. You know what I'm saying? Regardless. You know what I mean? So, but it's just some funny shit. Y'all gotta understand, Stevie on Bad Boy was like the black sheep. Me at the Source magazine was like the black sheep.
So y'all click.
There was a point in the 90s, we both had money and we both was wild boys and God made us link up. Why did that happen? We just seen a lot of things eye to eye. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whereas that everybody else would be like, yo, like crashing cars, brand new cars and leaving them, shit like that. Just, you know what I'm saying? Trashing hotel rooms, like $800 a night hotel rooms, you know what I'm saying? Like just wild shit that the industry, you know what I mean? So I remember when I was in Miami and Stevie was single at this point, you know what I'm saying? At this point, you know, this is before the Love and Hip Hop thing. So he was staying with me in Miami and shit. And I think him and Whoopi's daughter was, you know, really friends and shit, you know what I'm saying? Stevie.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg's daughter. Yeah. Yeah.
That's random as hell, but okay, I'm following you.
I mean, you wanted the story, right?
No,
You know what I'm saying?
it's already,
Right?
this is already, yeah.
So I
Include
remember
the receipt.
Whoopi's daughter came to him and Whoopi were cool and everything, but then it was like, there was this white chick that really dug him, blonde haired chick, little snow bunny. Excuse me, Dr. Umar, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sorry, doctor.
No Umar, you know what I'm
this one out,
saying?
yeah.
So I remember she liked him, whatever, so, you know what I'm saying, Stevie got the whip. One time she had a Benz truck, G-Wagon, he pulled up on her. Yo, what's up? Oh, I said, oh shit. You know what I'm saying, nigga? Now, you know he didn't have no license. Me and Stevie never had a license, man. Me and Stevie, we're notorious for just getting whips and just crashing them and don't have licenses, like we wild. So he pulls up, I was like, oh shit, so I jump in, we riding and shit, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah. So then I think the next day he probably had the white chick, you know what I'm saying? Like she was bad, like model type shit, beautiful. So next thing you know, a couple days went by, I ain't seen Stevie, no one seen Stevie and shit. We at the studio. So then I forgot, because where we was at was the compound, so when the cars come, you'd have to see us outside. I mean, so the white girl comes over and she's in a ride with somebody, with another chick. She's like, hey, you guys seen Stevie? You know, he hasn't brought the car back. You know what I'm saying? It's been a few days. I was like, no. So I get the call from Stevie and shit. He's like, yo, come get me, yo. So Stevie is like, on Collins, I go over there, the Benz truck is on cinder blocks, like with no tires and rims on it, right? This nigga done sold the rims off the car, right? So you know what I'm saying?
Shit, what, savage?
Yo. I mean, I know it might be, but you just had to be there, yo. Like I pulled up and the fucking shit was on blocks, and nigga, like, I was like, what the fuck? I didn't even want to say nothing. I didn't even say to pick it up. We rode out. Like, we got so many behind the scene Love and Hip Hop stories. We got so much shit, like.
Oh, I'm loving hip hop, yeah.
Man, me and Steve, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's only because we the same, like, we're good dudes. We're givers. Yeah. Stevie's a giver. Stevie, he wants everybody, like when you come in, like if y'all was around, he would, y'all straight, y'all need some food, y'all need some weed, need some drink, whatever, you know what I'm saying? He get it, but he's just a wild boy. And back then I was a wild boy, and like we, together it was just wilder. Everything we did was crazy, off camera.
That's
you know
great.
Yeah.
Now, I gotta ask you this, man. I got a couple source questions, right? So
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
No, I was finna say.
Ask everything.
I'm finna say.
Because we got to get it Jaguarish in this bitch.
Do you think Diddy had something to do with the Tupac situation? They're trying to pin that on. Now they're trying to say that Diddy had something going on with this situation.
Tupac had beef with a whole coast. You understand what I'm saying? Tupac had beef with a whole coast. Do you know how many thousands of niggas on the East Coast is gonna want it to fuck with Tupac at that point? So to choose one guy, you know what I'm saying? And there's really no physical evidence. There's no real evidence. It's just conspiracy. Like anybody could say that because they had beef, but do you know how much beef, how many niggas Pac had beef with? You know, and that's one thing about having beef with multiple niggas. You ain't gonna know who the fuck did it. And that's really what happened at this point. You know, I mean, look, you know that the whole situation in Vegas when they had stomped dude out, right? Do you think that if they didn't stomp dude out, you think Pac would be dead? Yes or no?
Yeah, he'd be alive.
Then what did Diddy have to do with it then?
That was my question. Like, because, it's like the media is always able to rewrite.
Fuck
it seems like they're trying to rewrite history.
The media is nuts. They cooked, yo.
Yeah, and
the media don't want the story. The media wants the sensationalism of it. They don't want the fact. The facts are boring to a lot of people.
Right.
They want to blame shit. The problem with being a scapegoat is like Diddy's the scapegoat for everything right now. He's taking the brunt. I've never seen Instagram ads. It's almost like a wanted Diddy. If he fucked with you, click here. Like, I've never seen no shit like that. Right. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, there's ads out now, almost back in the day when it was wanted, dead or alive, like that. That's what they're doing to Diddy on Instagram. So the Tupac thing, I just know that if they didn't stomp out Orlando at the shit, and Pac was right there, the main one, right? I think Pac wouldn't have got killed that night in Vegas. That's just my opinion.
Did they try to make you choose a side in that whole East Coast, West Coast?
Nah, because I was West Coast out. I was a New York nigga. My whole grandfather from New York. I spent half of my summers, 5 months out the year in New York from Boston, 3 hours. But I listened and was influenced so much by Eazy-E and West Coast music as a rap group, to where it's like, it really was a good place for me to be, because I could kind of understand both and don't take a side. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you think about it, at that time, Death Row and Bad Boys music was so fucking amazing at that period, and that music will live on forever. Mm-hmm. A lot of this music right now, you'll never hear again 10 years from now.
No, for sure.
Ever. There'll be no publishing for a lot of this shit.
Now a lot of people like to bring Biggie's sexuality into question now.
Biggie?
Yeah. Because of some of his lyrics.
Really? Oh. Yeah, I know, man. That's a good, I don't know why niggas be doing that shit.
And you gave him 5 months.
He's dope.
No, I'm saying.
The album's dope. Just because, listen. If he had a couple of suspect lyrics, that don't take away from the album.
Right.
And guess what? There's a whole LGBTQ community who probably love those lyrics. Now, how about that?
Amen.
We don't want to exclude them, do we?
Nah, hell nah. So,
yeah, see, nobody wants to see. Everybody pick and choose their battles. Yeah. See, you looking at it a little different now, right? Yeah, see, I got you. See, I'm good at this. You can.
Now, you being from Boston, there's a lot of famous people from Boston. Matt Damon, Uma Thurman, Mark Wahlberg. Have you ever interacted?
What do they all have in common?
They all white.
All right, I just wanted to just get that.
Yeah, but you in them circles. You run into a famous.
I'm in Uma Thurman circles. All right. I never thought that, but yeah. Look.
Nigga, you growing up, you was bigger than life to me. So.
Man, that's a. And that's probably what it is for me, is that I never seen that. So that's probably why, I never seen that. I never ever seen that. I just know that I was trying to hustle, trying to get my shit off as a groups, the Made Men, RSO, trying to learn about brand management with The Source and learn more about magazine stuff. And just try to expand myself from the streets. Because at that time in the 90s, it was like I was heavy, gang banging and selling drugs at that time. And so it's like when I met Dave and went to the Source, you know, it was a transition period. Once we started, you know, for the first, 10 years, wasn't really no money being made, so I still had to hustle. So, you know, not no money like that, but once we started, you know, once like 99 came, then that was it. I ain't had to do none of that no more. Comes a time where you be like, shit, I'm not even getting this money like this. And I was getting some real coins. That Source, when that Source started hitting 99, 2000, the money was way different and life was different.
Amen.
Amen.
Man, who got 5 mics that didn't deserve it?
Nah, for real.
Everybody deserved it. Everybody deserved it. There might have been some 4.5s that needed to be 5s.
Damn.
Damn, what the fuck you got against Lil? No, I'm just asking. That album's fire though. But 5
listen.
mics,
First of all, right. All right.
It was good, but
so look, right. Let's give props where props is due.
okay, let's do that. I'm just talking shit.
Kim came in. That's why when you're a female that can get street niggas and real hardened niggas to listen to your shit and rap your shit, then you know you've really transitioned. And back then it was a male-dominated industry. Kim broke through that shit. She actually was cute enough and sexy enough and put all that designer shit on blast to where it's like she started the whole culture of what rap is right now. She really, to me, single-handedly started it. Kim. Then Foxy came in and helped, but Kim was the first one because of the platform she was on with Biggie, and she was put out there. And the songs she was doing, the beats were so hard, niggas was like this. It's not easy for a female back then for niggas just to be like street hood niggas like.
But that was my question. So was it more so that, did the female part play a role in why she got 5 mics? Because the album was fire, but 5 mics, when I think 5 mics, I'm thinking legendary. Legendary album.
Me and Kim was dating around that time.
Okay, there it is. All right. Real nigga, ain't he? Real nigga. I would decide 6 mics. Yeah, 6 mics.
15.
What you talking about?
17 mics.
Created a mic, nigga.
No, but I don't want. But I'm saying though, look. But I'm saying.
I understand.
But I'm saying though, to me, when you think about it, she deserved it.
She did.
Yeah, but
This nigga.
Come on.
I was really just asking.
No. But I'm saying, she was an amazing friend, really cool person. Dave was actually dating her manager at the time, Hillary.
Yeah, sure.
Hillary at that time. So you know, but let me ask y'all a question.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's say that y'all had like, let's say the platform right here, and let's say Megan Good.
Yes.
And y'all fuck with Megan Good?
Yes. I met her personally.
Okay. Give me somebody who y'all really fuck with. Like really, like wow, like oh my God, like what really fuck with? No, that you like sexually.
Okay.
Janice.
Who?
You talking about artists, right?
Yes,
okay.
artist, actress,
Nikki.
JT.
Meg.
Beyond
JT.
JT.
Artist, nigga.
Word?
JT.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
JT. Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm on.
Shout. All right.
Nah, I'm on JT.
So let's say you Young Miami, you JT. Let's say y'all here. This is y'all shit. Let's say, look, fellas, we gonna go on a double date, and let's say y'all the most #1 podcast in the fucking world, and y'all go out to dinner with them. Y'all ain't putting them on whatever they want to be.
Before
on
the dinner, they
platforms.
come to do an interview. After the dinner, we shoot them a music video.
Right. Right.
We got it, nigga.
Right. So that just goes to show you now. Does that fuck up the integrity of what y'all are doing?
Absolutely not.
Nah, I wouldn't say.
I wouldn't say.
Why not?
It does to.
Well, it does or it doesn't.
It doesn't if she's actually fired, and she was fired.
What you mean?
You talking about Lil Kim?
Right.
We talking about. So I'm saying Lil Kim was really that.
There
though.
it is.
So
There it is. So then you can justify it.
Right.
The means are justified.
Yeah.
Yes.
I told you.
And shout out to Queen B because again, without Queen B, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
None of this would be happening with these females right now. It just doesn't happen. Without Queen B, and Nicki is just as up there now. Nicki is, and in some ways surpassed, but there's no Nicki without Kim.
Nah, ain't no nigga without Kim.
and there's no Glorilla and there's none of them. So, you know what I'm saying? You have to give it to her because it was a male dominated, and the females that were doing it did not do it like that. Right. So she deserved it.
Who's out right now, male and female artists, who deserves 5 mics?
You know what? Albums, well, I mean, Future. How about that? Let's go.
You said Future?
Future.
Yeah, hell yeah, yeah.
Future.
Yeah. Why don't they ever put him in the big three? When they say big three, it's like
I
that nigga
know.
been going crazy.
Future's underrated, man, because Future's one of the greatest artists that'll go down in history of our time, not just hip hop, of our time. Like there's certain people that God's just gifted to him that they just got it. That every time they go in there, they're giving us what we want to hear. The melodies, the harmonies, the beat, whatever it is, the mood, we're getting it all. He's not trying at this point. It's just him.
Me and my brother like to have this debate. Who do you think is more legendary, Future or Scottie Pippen?
Look, now I'm here to tell y'all. Look, I'm here to tell y'all. Look it. No. We don't want to do that because we need all the legends we can get in our culture.
That's real. That's
like
real.
We need all the legends we can get because, you know, that's the only thing those are the legacies that are going to be left to move to these generations, because this generation needs help. They need somebody to look at. It can't just be 1 or 2 or 3. And that's why I don't get into top 5s and top 10s and fuck all that. Because without it, where would black people be? Amen. Without music, without the hip hop industry, without, like, where the fuck would we be? Like we need to be top 1 million, God damn it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because whoever went out there and did it, they contributed. Hopefully they got their money. Hopefully it progressed them. It helped their families, because that's all it is an opportunity. A lot of people think this is what you're gonna be doing for the rest of your life. Like, it's impossible. You know, you gotta be able to use one thing, do it good, and then from that morph something else, you know what I'm saying, that just makes sense, that comes from it. Mm-hmm. Because believe me, like, hip hop, these young niggas getting this money right now, listen, man, same thing how football players that played back then. And, you know, you can't forget those guys. They wasn't getting no money. They was go to work and then come in with leather helmets being fucked up, you know, playing for no money. And now niggas is getting millions and millions and millions. You know, all I'm saying is that the guys that get it now, they have to respect it more.
Amen.